We have arrived here at the Maritime Center, and I've been joined by Chris Rare, I got it right this time, and he is the Science Program Manager here, and of course Grant is still with us. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to see when we go inside.
Yeah, sure. So the Maritime Center focuses specifically on coastal ecology, history of Beaufort County, so a lot of natural history. We have exhibits, we have animals, and right now we have a bunch of kids inside. So
that's exciting, having a field trip.
Having a field trip, yep.
Yeah. So Grant, what made you want to bring us here today?
Well, they do a great service to the area of all the things that he's talking about, from field trips to just understanding our area and learning about it. And they're very involved in the conservation of the Port Royal Sound area. So I just think it's really, in the world of trying to bring things to our area, I mean, they're perfect for it.
Yeah. Well, let's head inside and see what they have to offer. Cool. So we have made our way here inside the museum, and we're in this first room here, and all kinds of things hanging from the ceiling and lots of facts on the walls. I mean, it just is so interesting right when you walk in. So tell us about this room here and then walk us through the rest.
Yeah, so as you enter into the Maritime Center, you actually enter through all of our gardens, our native plant gardens. You come into our lobby, and then you make your way into our first exhibit room, which is more based on our local ecology. So we have a bunch of charismatic animals in here, from tiger sharks to loggerhead sea turtles, manta rays, dolphins, and there's a story that goes along with them. So a lot of our not only charismatic animals, but we also have a beautiful map of the Port Royal Sound area, one of the largest maps ever made of the area that kind of highlights the uniqueness of this place, from the amount of salt marshes to our deep water, how much water that exists within our county, right? We live a true island life here, so a lot of island hopping going on, as you guys came here by boat, right?
Exactly.
And then if you guys want to, we can make our way into the next room that really focuses on Beaufort County's history, and that history revolving around the commercial seafood industry. So there's a lot of cultural significance to this area in the seafood industry. So you can see just what this area was really all about, 50, 60 years ago. And to this day, right, we still hang our hat on being this seafood industry. So we have a lot of, these are all local images, photos done by an amazing volunteer, Beverly Jennings. With all this work, she ended up creating her own book called Shrimp Tales out of it. But it really focuses on the crabbing, oyster, and shrimping in this area. And then in the back, we have even more animals, so why not?
Why not? As we've been walking around, we've really been talking about it as the Maritime Center, but it actually is also the Port Royal Sound Foundation, which does a lot to conserve everything that we see around here, including our 100,000 alligators. So talk to us a little bit about the ecosystem and why we need to preserve it.
Yeah, so we are in a really unique place in Beaufort County, in the Port Royal Sound watershed, in that we have one of the smallest watersheds found in South Carolina. On top of that, there's very little industry. There's no port system. So when we talk about an estuarine body of water on the coastal region, we're pretty pristine relative to some of these other industrialized coastal communities. Our biggest threat today is probably development, right? As everyone has heard the good word about how special of a place this is, and we have all these people moving into this area. So we're in a unique place where we're not really trying to build back a lost ecosystem, but really protect what we still have today. And obviously, we can still make it better, but it makes it a little bit different about how we approach these things. So right now, our strategies are to create a set of indicators of the area, and then begin monitoring those indicators. So a big one for us is water quality. We have created a database that houses state and local municipality water quality data. And then we are supplementing that by doing our own sampling. So looking at areas that don't currently have water data coming from them. So that's looking at like temperature, salinity, pH, so that water acidity, chlorophyll, which is a product of plankton and planktonic blooming, nutrients, and just getting kind of a gauge as to how healthy our systems are.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So we do that, as kind of one of our bigger projects. I mean, we have a ton of other projects in the works. We also do a lot of funding. We support USCB through grant funding, as well as offer an RFP every year to kind of attract researchers and to do focused work in our area. So.
Absolutely fascinating and also really important. So thank you for everything that you're doing.
Yeah, of course.
You're going to want to stay with us because after a quick break here on the Water with the Boathouse, we're going to get an up close and personal look at some of our aquatic friends. Stay tuned.